Ms. Sayana Vinaka, a very good morning, and thank you, Major Philippa Serevi. Thank you for this invitation. Heads of organizations, Head of Empower Pacific, Mr. Patrick Morgan, the stakeholders in Lotoka, our Director for Women, media, police officers, thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation to join you this morning for the soft reopening of the Salvation Army Family Care Center. I personally have a very deep respect for the work of the Salvation Army and your continuous dedication and commitment for the care of those who are in need. And today is a testament to that effort. I know I came to Major Philippa 2 years ago asking her to please reopen some of the centers, and the work that you undertook for Suva in being able to re-establish that center for street kids, for that we are very grateful. Thank you for making the effort to reopen this much needed center in Lotoka. With the support of your New Zealand partners, like you shared, the center is in addition to your existing services in Suva and Lambasa, and plays a very vital role in creating a safe space for protection and supporting women and children who have suffered domestic violence, abuse, and human trafficking. Sadly, you have seen many cases where young women, young girls, are also asked by their own family members, their husbands, to go into sex work. And you have rescued many, whether they're in Lotoka or in the Northern Division. It's a very sad situation, but thank you for creating this space, for providing counseling, care, and pathway through seeking housing and economic empowerment. Opening such a center is not a matter of joy, unfortunately. If Fiji was truly the way the world should be, we will not be needing such centers. Each one of us belong to a strong network of support system, or we think so. A strong sense of family, strong sense of spiritual connections. The hard question for us to reflect on is, if that's the case, why does our country rate one of the highest in the world on statistics on family violence? Why does 2 out of 3 women and 5 out of 6 children suffer violence in the hands of their loved ones? It's not anybody external who comes and beats them and, puts them through abuse. It's the ones that you love and respect and from who you are expecting care and protection, and that makes it so much worse. 1 in every 3 girls and 1 in every 5 boys suffer violence growing up in the hands of those who are meant to protect them. Very sadly, according to the Fiji Police Force statistics, the highest number of recorded cases of child abuse and domestic violence is from the Western Division. There are many, many more, I'm sure, not reported. And, we've always thought it's Eastern Division, it's different. But I looked at the police statistics. The Western Division led the statistics, accounting for 37 to 40% of all reported cases of domestic violence against women, as well as 35% of cases of violence against children in the past 5 years. To put this data in numbers, 1,103 cases out of 2,692 victims were from the West in 2020. That's 40% of all cases reported. And 970 out of 2,617 cases in 2024. That's 37%. So we haven't dropped that much since pandemic. Eastern Division has around 17 to 18%. Northern Division accounts for about 10 to 12%, and Central Division recorded 3.3% of all cases reported in 2024. We need to ask ourselves why the Western Division has recorded the highest number of family violence in the last 5 years. Our elders, our community leaders, our family members need to analyze our situation and see how can we turn these numbers around and protect our women and children. Because these are not just numbers. Cumulatively, these numbers reflect more than 5,000 families in the Western Division. There may be so many unreported cases. But imagine the actual, beyond the statistic, the actual number of women and children who have been scarred for life by violence that could have been avoided. So if we look at the data alone, you see how much Western Division needs your services. And we don't have many shelters in the Western Division. Your shelter here covers all the way from Singatoka to Rao, like you said. The work of such centers is particularly difficult because you are dealing with trauma, wounds that have been inflicted by the loved ones of the victim. How does one give comfort to them and get them to trust the loved ones again? Many women forgive and move on, try and give it another chance. But for children, it's a lot of confusion. The ones who are impacted and receive the least attention are the children caught up in the family violence. Children witness violence, they get impacted by the violence. Watching the beloved mothers hit by the loved and respected elders in the family, often fathers, gives a very mixed message. Many children growing up develop trust issues that affects them in their adult life, and they are emotionally scarred for life. That affects their relationships and the way they deal with situations in their adult life as well. I'm grateful your services are holistic. You look after the needs of entire families. But centers like these are dealing with the bottom of the cliff situation. You're dealing with violence that has happened, trafficking that has happened. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we do to protect children from not going into that space? The coalition government is very committed and working on developing the National Action Plan on prevention of all forms of violence against children. We already have developed a National Action Plan on prevention of violence against women and girls. The plan is a whole of society plan. And while government is creating enabling environment and funding different programs, we fund helplines run by Fiji Women's Crisis Center, 1560, 1325 for children run by Medical Services Pacific. We support Empower Pacific. We run training programs. We are developing National Women's Economic Empowerment Plan. But all our efforts will only bear fruit if every segment of society works together. Because all this violence is committed in homes and in families. Governments can create enabling environment, but we are not in each home to protect these families. Only communities and families could do that. So together we need to build families and communities that protect our women and children. Director Women is here. We are visiting shelters and partners in the West. We are trying to work and develop women's forums in every district, to work at community level, to go all the way to the village level to help build capacity and develop prevention programs and prevention committees in each of our communities. And that means leadership from ground up. Only collectively can we build a Fiji that has zero tolerance to all forms of violence. We are appreciative of all the efforts made by civil society organizations like yours. I know the commitment that we've seen in you. Some of you have been so passionate about this and work long hours, and we can't do it without you. We are looking forward to working in partnership with this Family Support Center and all the other support services as well, to not only support the organization, but the beneficiaries in this center to develop income opportunities, but also how do we work with them for housing. Because only if we all commit to it, then only together we can work towards a future where no woman or child has to live in fear or abusive environment. Because every member of the family, the mother, the child, the father, that's the foundation for our society. So we have to make sure that there's an enabling environment for every member of the family. I want to sincerely thank the Salvation Army, your partners and donors and volunteers. I know your annual street appeals and fundraising support this, so I call on people to please continue supporting. And I encourage all the stakeholders over here. I know many of you work together. Police refers the cases here. We have counseling organizations here. And I hope that we'll continue to work together. We'll join hands so that we can really end violence in all forms and build a safer, fairer Fiji for everyone. And thank you for sharing your story. To the women and children who have come through these doors, you are loved, you're not alone, you have shared that. There is support, there is love, and there's a community that stands by you. And I congratulate you once again, and I thank you for doing this, and we will stand by you in supporting vulnerable families that walk through the doors of your family centers. Vinaka Vakalevu, and let's try and build a stronger Fiji where we can remove all forms of violence. Vinaka.